Coming up on Eagle Vision News, controversy surrounding transgenderism in sports.
An inside look into Biola's Hispanic Heritage Month.
And reporters Grace Murray and Mia Poston hit the streets to ask students about their biggest icks in dating.
All this and more coming up on Eagle Vision News.
Welcome back to the first episode of Season 9. I'm Olivia Yatooma.
And I'm Canaan Araujo.
Canaan, welcome to the Eagle Vision desk. This is your first time as an anchor here on Eagle Vision, so how are you feeling?
Definitely excited, but a little nervous, but hey, there's a first time for everything.
And you know, you have big shoes to fill. Jeff Wilson sat here last season and he was an incredible anchor, but I have no doubt that you're going to raise the stakes this season.
Thank you so much. Always a vote of confidence. So, speaking of all of the events happening in the fall, one thing I'm really looking forward to is all of the conferences happening at Biola.
And you know, one of our most famous professors, Shawn McDow, has a meet and greet coming up. Do you know Biola's Dr. Shawn McDow? Do you know he not only teaches Bible classes, but also fulfills the role of speaker, author, and voice of the Think Biblically podcast? Well, if you didn't, you know now. Dr. McDowell has built a platform to tackle some of the biggest questions about God, morality, and contemporary culture. So don't take for granted the chance to learn under his teaching in the classroom and to hear more about his passion for equipping young people to make the case for the Christian faith. Friday, September 22, Dr. McDowell will be hosting an exclusive meet and greet prior to Biola's first ever Reality Student Apologetics Conference. Don't miss an opportunity to grow in knowledge and faith this September 22.
Fall is giving food, fashion, and fiesta this semester. Biola University celebrates Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month from September 14th to October 15th. Hosted by the Unidos Latinx Heritage Club and Student Engagement, students learn about the beauty of Hispanic culture through all kinds of events. Fiesta Latina 2023 begins on September 28th with food, music, and dance lessons in the bachata. Students are also invited to Spanish chapels on September 25th and 27th, given by Biola's own Dr. Octavio Esqueda and visiting pastor and historian Dr. Justo L. Gonzalez. And do not forget to stop by Chase Gymnasium, where Bethel Music and Vos Church pastor Andres Spiker will bring worship and the Word of God at the Hispanic Plenary Conference on September 30th. These are great opportunities to celebrate Biola's 2023 Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, in learning more about Hispanic Heritage Month, I believe it's really important that as a student body, we talk about things that not everyone is quick to speak on.
I really do agree with that, and since fall sports season is now in full swing, another topic that not everybody touches on is transgenderism in sports. Reporter Jake Russo has the latest on a scandal in Illinois where two biological males who identify as women won 2 gold medals in 2 separate women's championships.
Jake also talked to Biola student athletes about their take on the scandal. Jake?
2 transgender cyclists sparked backlash after taking podium positions at the 2023 Illinois Women's State Championships. Evelyn Williamson and Tessa Johnson, who were both born biologically male and transitioned to female, took first place in the relay race at the Illinois State Bicycle Championships. Their win has reignited the debate on whether or not transgender athletes should be allowed to compete alongside women who have not had the advantage of male puberty. Several states have passed laws banning biological males from competing in female categories, as experts have shared that male contenders have clear advantages over females. In response to the situation, we asked our Biola athletes how they felt about the situation and the possibility of it happening to them in their sport.
I think they should have a separate league. I think there should be something put in place so that they have their own league they're in, because they don't necessarily fall into the women's category or men's quite with their hormones and just muscle structure.
How would you feel if someone in like your division in college was competing against you when they were a biological male?
I'd be pretty upset. I know some people would not compete. I think depending on the situation, I might just still compete because it feels more like they're taking away your opportunity. You know, if you don't compete and then it's hard to convince the other athletes around you or in your heat to not compete.
Well, many are calling this a victory for trans athletes. Others say this may be a step in the wrong direction. This has been Jake Russo for Eagle Vision. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Jake. It is always helpful to get a student athlete's perspective on this topic.
And now for Biola Athletics, reporter Nina Corral highlights fall sports back in action.
Let's get excited, Biola sports are back. Women's volleyball, men's water polo, men's and women's soccer, cross country, and golf have started strong this fall. Cross country finished their first meet on September 8th. Out of 8 teams, the women's finished first and the men's finished second. Don't miss their next meet on September 23rd. The women's volleyball team is off to an impressive start. They're currently ranked second in the Pac West Conference, right behind Chaminade, who is taking the lead by 7 wins. We are currently looking forward to a great season and to keeping their winning streak going. Make sure to stay tuned for all the latest updates.
Thank you, Nina. We're looking forward to cheering on Biola Athletics from the sidelines. And I don't know about you, but watching sports games outside is a lot more appealing when it's sunny.
Yeah, so let's see if there will be a lot more sun this week or if we'll be heading into sweater season. Reporter Mia Poston has the update.
All right, thank you, Olivia and Canaan. Well, actually, here I am. I'm standing in front of a picture of Hurricane Lee that actually touched down on the East Coast this weekend. Obviously, there is a lot of damage that's been done over this weekend, so we even have this house's foundation has been destroyed, so our hopes and prayers go out to those folks there. But moving on to our local weather here in La Mirada, we're seeing a little bit of some cooler weather. This morning it was at 54 degrees. We go to 72 in the afternoon, 54 this evening, and then here are our sunrises and sunsets. But why don't we move on to national weather? Here on the East Coast, here up in Maine, we have around 68 degrees. And then as you go down, it gets a little warmer. And then, of course, as you go down to Florida, we're in the 90s. And then once we hit the Midwest here, it actually kind of a hot front coming through. We're actually high 80s. And then all the way down here in Texas, we're seeing also the mid 90s. And then switching over here to West Coast, we are a little bit cooler. Up in Washington, we're hitting at 59. And then down here in California, we're seeing about 64 to 76. So why don't we actually go to our local weather here in LA County, though? On Monday, we have some sunny weather. So, Canaan, I think you're going to like that. So looking about 77 degrees that day. But on Tuesday and through the rest of the week, we're just going to have some sun with a little bit of cloud cover. Going to stay in the mid to lows 70s. And then finally on Sunday, it will go back up to 78. So thank you so much, folks. Back to you at the desk.
Democrats led the charge to impeach former President Trump. Now, the tables have turned. GOP House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced he will open an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden on September 12th. Speaker McCarthy alleged the president and his family encourage a culture of corruption and tasked 3 House committees with investigating the president's private bank records and if he played a role in his son Hunter's controversial foreign business dealings. President Biden denied the allegations on September 13th, claiming the inquiry is really a way for Republicans to shut down the federal government. Instead, he says he will focus on other concerns the American people have. So far, the Republicans do not have evidence for impeachment. Hunter Biden's indictment on September 14th also proved unrelated to his father's charges.
On September 13, tech giants Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates met on Capitol Hill behind closed doors. What brought the biggest names in the tech industry to Capitol Hill? AI technology and its implications on national security in competition with China. AI technology is very quickly evolving. The main objective of this meeting was to brainstorm ways to increase transparency and to mitigate risk associated with AI so the public will still be able to enjoy its benefits. Elon Musk told the public the meeting was historic, but still warned them about the dangers of AI.
The consequences of AI going wrong are severe. So we have to be proactive rather than reactive.
Senator Chuck Schumer says there will be more open hearings on AI in the near future and to expect further action taken by Congress towards AI very soon.
Keeping up with what's current, reporter Grace Murray shares the latest in entertainment news.
And who knows, it might just involve your favorite Jonas brother.
Joe Jonas files for divorce after 4 years married to former Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner. The 34-year-old singer petitioned the Miami-Dade County Court in Florida to end his marriage on the grounds that his relationship is irretrievably broken.
Sources speculate Turner's frequent partying is to blame for the split. The couple met back in 2016 after Jonas slid into Turner's DMs. Their relationship officially became public a year later. By May of 2019, they were wed in secret at a small chapel in Las Vegas. Since then, Jonas and Turner have raised 2 daughters together. Their oldest, Willa, was born in 2020, and as of last year, they welcomed their newest daughter into the world. Her name has yet to be made public, but in court documents, she is referred to as DJ. In the midst of performing 5 albums every night in his world tour alongside his 2 brothers, Jonas is now seeking joint custody of his girls.
Thank you so much, Grace. Unfortunately, it does seem to be the season for divorce. Did you hear that Hugh Jackman and his wife are getting a divorce after 30 years of marriage?
You're kidding. See, this is the kind of thing that makes me not want to get married.
No.
It's so discouraging.
It's so sad. They were one of the favorite Hollywood couples too, over 30 years. I know there's kind of a bigger age gap between them too, so it was a shocking couple, but they have kids, and I thought they were going to make it. I feel like no one's staying married in Hollywood.
Or kids. And gosh, can we even trust in Disney movies where they make them live happily ever
They're
after?
real. Don't
Disney's
talk to me
not
about
real.
Troy Bolton or High School Musical or anything like that.
Same,
They're
girl,
made
same.
up.
My first crush.
Okay.
Well, speaking of relationships, Grace and Mia hit the streets to ask students about their biggest icks in dating.
What is up, Biola students? My name is Grace Murray, and today we're walking around campus asking you what your biggest icks are.
And I'm Mia Poston. And just for our viewers who don't know, an ick is something that someone you like does that grosses you out. So why don't we figure out what your icks are, Biola?
All right, Jen, what's your biggest ick in a guy?
What is your biggest ick in a girl?
Oh man.
So I have 2. They're just silly, but
What is your biggest ick in a girl?
My biggest ick in a guy is a guy who thinks he's too cool to lift his hands in worship and is too affected by what his friends think.
No, this is so controversial, I can't say it. I'm gonna get grilled.
Say it.
glass of milk in the calf.
I think it'd have to be people that in a conversation can only talk about themselves and don't ask any questions about me.
Yeah, we don't like conceited people out here.
And then my second one is when you're going to the library and you go to scan and it doesn't go the first time and you run into the the turnstile.
Oh, totally. That is a huge turn off. I get that one.
My biggest ick is when a girl says that I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man. That's why you're single. Sorry.
Wow, okay. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Ick. I'm Grace Murray.
And I'm Mia Poston. It's been great hearing your biggest icks, Biola. Catch you next time.
Thank you, Grace and Mia. I have to say, some of those icks were a little controversial, but made for a great segment. What did you think, Canaan?
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. Oh my lord. There's so many icks that we could talk about. What is your favorite?
Okay, my favorite ick? There's so many. I would say one of my icks is when guys chew very loudly. I literally can't stand the sound. It's pretty brutal. I can't even talk about it more. What's yours?
Okay, well, call me old-fashioned, but I still believe that chivalry is not dead when guys let you split the bill on the first date.
Oh, shoot!
Yeah.
Is that from personal experience, Canaan?
Let's just say maybe.
Oh, you know what? One of our reporters, Grace, who was actually featured in the package, she was talking about her biggest ick being when guys put their socks on. She also said, and I quote, picture guys at a sky zone. So do with that what you will, but there's plenty of icks to go around here at Eagle Vision. But that is all that we have for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled for episode 2. I'm Olivia Yatooma.
And I'm Canaan Araujo. You Eagles, have a great week.